Next on this special Christmas edition of Currents News.
3, 2, 1. Hey!
A Christmas like no other, but a tree lighting tradition lives on in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
We've got to keep the Christmas spirit, even though we can't do it the way we used to.
Then, keeping another special tradition alive through the generations, the heartwarming story of faith and family from one of our own. And if you're having a stay-at-home Christmas this year, recipes from inside the Vatican will help adorn your holiday table. Plus, the gifts of the Magi, endangered, one of the oldest and most prized gifts given to the baby Jesus, could be gone in our lifetime. This Currents News special edition starts right now. Hello, I'm Christine Persichetti, and welcome to this special edition of Currents News. We're spreading Christmas cheer by highlighting some holiday stories from around the diocese. We begin with how Brooklyn kicked off the season, the lighting of the Christmas tree at Grand Army Plaza. And as Currents News' Emily Drewby shows us, there's a special addition to this year's display.
3, 2, 1. Hey!
15,000 lights and 35 feet tall. The Diocese of Brooklyn's Christmas tree lights up Grand Army Plaza, a holiday tradition even the pandemic cannot stop.
It's so good that we've done it. We've got to keep the Christmas spirit, even though we can't do it the way we used to.
Some things the same, but others different this Christmas season. Social distancing, safety measures, masks, but also a brand new addition. A sculpture, a unique take on the nativity scene normally below the tree. It's called Angels Unawares. First seen in St. Peter's Square, it depicts the plight of migrants and refugees. Now it calls the Diocese of Immigrants its temporary home. The 140 carved faces all together on one boat. Among them are Joseph, Mary, and Jesus.
We recognize that the Holy Family also fled as refugees to save the life of the child. So many people today have to do the same thing to save the lives of themselves and their children. So it opens our hearts to others, and that's what Christmas is about.
The piece is from Catholic artist Timothy Schmaltz. It's the second casting, a replica of the one Pope Francis blessed at the Vatican. The Ladouceur family graciously helped bring it to the Diocese of Brooklyn.
It's a beautiful expression of, hope and protection. Of course, the angel.
Another hope that both the powerful sculpture and the massive tree can bring comfort and joy to what has been a difficult year for many.
People are depressed, people are down, and this gives us hope that we're all together and we can overcome anything when we work together and we see ourselves all in the same boat.
Mayor Bill de Blasio making it clear that this isn't the first way the Diocese of Brooklyn has helped to ease the suffering of New Yorkers.
In the middle of this crisis, the Diocese of Brooklyn was there for them, and Bishop DiMarzio, his whole team, really provided tremendous comfort for people in need.
Applauding the Diocese and DeSales Media Group, the parent company for Net TV, for their work in hosting this event and helping to provide food, masks, and other necessities this year. Both the tree and the sculpture will remain here until the first week of January. At Grand Army Plaza, Emily Drewby, Currents News.
The Holy Family is forever remembered with nativity scenes the world over during Christmas. But right here on Staten Island, one of our own, Currents News' Jessica Easthope, remembers that holy night with a family-made creche with extra special significance.
A few weeks before Christmas every year, hundreds see this creche at St. Christopher, St. Margaret Mary Church on Staten Island. What they don't see is what it takes to create it.
Put one in the bottom one first and then one on the top.
The nativity was first built in the church in 1964 by Frank Illuzzi, my grandfather.
His ability to build things, he had such intelligence that it was just incredible.
He started building the creche that we affectionately call the crib when he was 28 years old. And he built it for 28 years until he passed away at 56. That's when my uncle, Mike Illuzzi, took over. He was also 28.
And where's my shepherd?
And now he has been building the crib for exactly 28 years.
It makes you think that there's some connection to our lives and this Christmas crib.
Yeah, he's good.
This year, the men in my family, including my Uncle Mike, cousin Michael, and godson Mikey, built the crib for the last time. Because soon, there will be no more masses at St. Margaret Mary.
Unfortunately, we're a parish that's getting a little bit smaller each year. And so it's time, I think, to make a very difficult decision to just use one site.
This is Frank's mother, Lucia.
Though it's been in my family for nearly 6 decades, the tradition started long before that.
Frank's mother, Lucia, embodied Italy. She used to create this creche in her living room, and the whole town at Christmas time would come and see it. She was a fanatic about how it looked.
Part of the family tradition is that every aspect of the creche, from the structure that's underneath to the way the mountains are painted, was passed down by my grandfather. But that's not all that was passed down.
So to create perspective, we put the smaller statues furthest away.
My Uncle Mike is pretty fanatic about it too.
The paper is used to create the effect of the mountain. I'm sometimes particular about how people crumple it.
But that's because it's more than just a nativity. For all of us, it is my grandfather.
There's nothing on this planet that would ever stop me from building this. I just can't. It's sort of like, breathing.
On the wall next to the crib, there's a plaque. On it is everything you need to know about my grandfather's view on faith.
That's all he ever said. I do it for the man upstairs.
The statues that make up the desert scene are old. Some are chipped and worn. Individually, they're imperfect, just like the members of our family.
Over the years, we lose them, they break.
But when you look at the big picture, it's so much more than that. On Staten Island, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
What a great family tradition. One of the gifts brought to the baby Jesus when he was born is in danger of disappearing. The trees that produce frankincense are in severe decline and could soon become extinct. Robert Duncan has more.
Frankincense is still sought after today for its religious, medicinal, and household purposes, making it one of the oldest traded commodities in the world. An aromatic resin, frankincense is harvested from the tears that seep from the cuts made to a variety of Boswellia tree species, which grow in the harsh, dry climates of Yemen and Oman in the Arabian Peninsula, of Eritrea, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan in East Africa, and in northwestern India. The Catholic Church is a major consumer of frankincense, with incense having an important place in its rites and the liturgy. Dried gum grains are burned over hot coals in a censer or thurible to incense the altar, the book of the Gospels, offertory gifts, sacred images, and those participating in the Mass, as the smoke symbolizes sanctification and the prayers of the faithful rising up to God. But the trees that produce frankincense are in severe decline, and the Church has a role in protecting the trees, and there are hopes Pope Francis will get involved.
The Catholic Church has a lot of power to demand traceability and accountability and to be a part of the solutions and assisting with replanting and helping with the conservation of the species. The fact that it was brought to baby Jesus is not a small matter.
Again, that was Robert Duncan reporting. According to researchers, frankincense has exceptional medicinal qualities, which would have made it a very useful gift for the Holy Family. Giving the gift of Christmas cheer, the students at a Queens Catholic school held a socially distanced Christmas concert. With the help of DeSales Media Group, the students and staff of Incarnation Catholic Academy put together this video montage in place of the school's annual in-person Christmas concert. The production was kept socially distanced, with individual and group recordings happening at different times over the last few weeks. There's a lot more news headed your way. The tablet newspaper's Bright Christmas campaign is still going strong. We'll tell you how you can make sure children in the Diocese of Brooklyn get something under the tree this Christmas. Plus, the pandemic has changed everything this year, even a long-standing Christmas tradition.
I think it was just sort of a natural transition to digitalize the traditional Advent calendar. In a way, it can reach a lot more people.
And if you're sticking close to home this Christmas but want to whip up some holiday favorites, a Vatican Christmas cookbook could have just the recipes you need to make a stay-at-home Christmas great.
Now you can help us put your faith in the news. The next time you capture a newsworthy event, send us your pictures or video. It's easy. Go to netny.tv/send us, and you may see your submission on Currents News.
Christmas is this week, and there's still time to make sure every child here in the Diocese of Brooklyn has a gift under their tree. The tablet's Bright Christmas campaign is in full swing, and their editor, Jorge Dominguez, is here to give us an update. And Jorge, are the donations still coming in? Where are we at right now?
Oh, yes, the donations are coming in. We are at $78,000 now.
Oh, that is wonderful to hear. So talk about why this campaign is so important. I mean, what would happen if we didn't have a Bright Christmas campaign?
Well, what will happen is that a lot of kids in our parishes and in our diocesan programs are not going to have Christmas at all. And we're talking about especially parishes in poor neighborhoods and poor kids in any parish, or kids whose parents don't have a job right now because of the pandemic. And we are helping these people to have Christmas. And it's not just a toy or a dinner or a party. Well, party this year we don't have, but dinner or toys. It is the message of Christmas. Jesus was born to save us. It's an evangelization process. It's an evangelization effort too. That's why we ask for everybody's help to help these people.
And why should somebody give? It's got to make you feel good.
It is very good for you because it makes you feel very good. This is the time when you count your blessings and you want to share them with people who are less fortunate than you. And at the same time, because you want other people to experience the hope and joy of Christmas as you experienced it when you were a little kid.
Absolutely. All right. Jorge Dominguez, editor-in-chief of the Tablet newspaper. Thanks for joining us and keeping us updated, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Christine.
To donate to the Bright Christmas campaign, just write out a check to the Tablet Bright Christmas campaign and mail it to 1712 10th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York 11215. Or head online to thetablet.org and click on the link for the Bright Christmas campaign. And a reminder to parents, the annual Tablet Christmas Art Contest is on. Students in grades 1st through 12th in Brooklyn and Queens are invited to express their faith through art with the theme, Keep Christ in Christmas. So if your child is interested, they can send their artwork to thetablet.org/2020 art contest. Remember, this is a digital art contest, so no physical artwork will be accepted at the Tablet's office. One more thing, Wednesday, January 13th is the deadline. So you have to submit those works of art before 5 p.m. that day. And a special Mass will be offered right here on Net TV. A traditional Latin Mass or Tridentine Mass will be broadcast live from the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph on December 29th at 7 p.m. Be sure to tune in to the special liturgical experience. Once again, December 29th at 7 p.m. Santa's Toy Shop is open, giving families in need a chance to bring smiles to their children this Christmas. Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens held their annual toy drive at St. Vincent Ferrer Parish in Brooklyn. Thanks to the generosity of donors and friends, the event is able to give toys to 1,800 children. Families also received $25 gift cards for the holidays. Even though the Christmas season won't be the same thanks to the pandemic, DeSales Media kicked off a new way to keep people connected here in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has more.
We started with hope.
The candles on this wreath represent the 4 weeks of Advent, but each candle also has a meaning: hope, peace, joy, and love.
Just as we hope for the coming of Christ in Christmas, but we, I think all of mankind, is just hoping for a time when the vaccine is here and this disease, this pandemic, is behind us.
This Advent, Father Christopher Henue is partnering with DeSales Media Group, the communication and technology arm of the Diocese of Brooklyn that operates Net TV, to create a digital Advent calendar as part of DeSales' Rediscover Christmas campaign.
I think it was just sort of a natural transition to digitalize the traditional Advent calendar. In a way, it can reach a lot more people.
We are people of hope. We hope in things unseen.
The calendar features videos from Father Henyu with a new message for the week's theme every Sunday. There are also prayers, quotes to reflect on, and actions to take. Some even let you treat yourself.
In some of them, they are like create Christmas ornaments with your family, but then other ones are a little bit deeper, like reflecting on 5 things that you can be grateful for this year. It's always hope, peace, joy, and love.
Caitlin Sack-Dallin is the social media community manager at DeSales. She helped get the digital advent calendar rolled out. It has nearly 600 daily viewers and has reached more than 60,000 people on social media.
It's kind of meant to be a purposeful way for us to reconnect and really, truly rediscover Christ in Christmas.
Unlike the advent calendars you can buy at a store, there are no chocolates or sweet treats. But Caitlin says this advent calendar offers something much more satisfying.
It's really meant to kind of fill your soul and feed you kind of internally in a different way and fill you with the hope of Christ.
So while this season is missing some tradition, it gives us a chance to bring Jesus back into focus and rediscover Christmas. In Richmond Hill, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
The holidays may not be what we're used to this year, but that doesn't mean you can't have your own very special Christmas at home. A Vatican Christmas cookbook has 100 recipes from inside the walls of the Holy See that you can see on your tables this Christmas. I spoke with the book's creator, chef, and former Swiss Guard David Geiser about why he thought it was important to release the cookbook during the Christmas season and during the pandemic.
At first, it was not planned that we have a pandemic. I think nobody has planned this pandemic. Yes, we had this plan to bring the book out, and I think it's also important in a pandemic to make your plans. And a book or a cookbook should be also make people happy, and this was my goal.
Okay, I love it. Now, which is your favorite recipe in the book, and which is the favorite recipe of the Swiss Guards that you were with, and also the Popes?
Good question. Yes, I would say I have a lot of recipes inside which I love a lot, but I wrote all the recipes, so I like all of the recipes. It's my job. And
Okay.
it's very difficult to say only one recipe is my favorite, because it's a little bit like your kids. These are the recipes, and I can't say this exactly, but I think for different recipes, I like for example, for Christmas, something special, something to eat with the family, something great, and maybe in other day a little bit something smaller. And so I love all the recipes inside.
Okay, what can you tell us about Pope Francis's favorite recipe?
About I know he loves to eat sweet things. This is, yeah, he loves it. The problem is the pandemic, and it was planned to go to Rome, and I hoped to give the book to Pope Francis and to ask him then also what is one of your favorites, and I didn't had the chance till right now. But I would say something of the cookies or some dessert or something.
Okay, I probably have that in common with the Pope. Tell me, I hear that the recipes were inspired by popes and other church leaders. How so?
Yes, I had the possibility with my first cookbook, or with my first international cookbook, before I wrote 3 other books, to have near contact with the Holy Father, with some important people in the Vatican, with cardinals, with the commander of the Swiss Guard. And so I know in which way I have to make these recipes. And with this new cookbook, I made it from Switzerland, but I was in touch with one. And yes, from the first book, I know in which way I have to go.
I also know that in the cookbook, you can read about different Christmas traditions at the Vatican. So tell us a little bit about one of your favorite traditions at the Vatican for Christmas.
Yes, here in Switzerland, it's very famous. St. Nicholas, when St. Nicholas came to the kids. And also in the Vatican, for the Swiss Guard, we had this tradition on the 6th of December. Normally came the Holy Nicholas or the St. Nicholas, and he came to the Swiss Guard. and then he tell us about funny things about the year, how it is the tradition here, and I love this day.
It sounds so nice. Chef
together.
David Geiser. Your cookbook is the Vatican Christmas Cookbook, and I cannot wait to read it because I can use a few recipes myself. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
And if you'd like to prepare your own Vatican Christmas at home, go to sophiainstitute.com. That's sophiainstitute.com. Still to come on Currents News, it's a holiday tradition, COVID or not, so Santa and his fans are making sure kids on the nice list get their time with old St. Nick.
We didn't want the tradition to just die down, so we were like, let's keep it going, masks and all.
Visits with Santa are quite different this year. Even so, he's still making a list and checking it twice. Bryn Gingras found out how Santa is handling social distancing.
Look right here, guys. One thing about Santa, he always keeps his promises.
No matter how bad COVID gets, Santa's still going to be there for you, okay? No matter what.
Especially in a pandemic. At malls and stores across America, visits to Santa do look a little different this year. Appointments for pictures instead of long lines, disinfecting elves between every customer, and Santa, in some cases, weekly COVID tests. And he's socially distant, of course, whether 6 feet apart by a stack of presents, virtual or behind plexiglass.
How important was that for you to make it happen?
Very important. It was a big part of our psyche, really. We look forward to this as much as the children.
In Queens, New York, there's a special kind of magic happening.
Where are we?
This is Santa's socially distant workshop.
Santa typically delivers donated toys to boys and girls in hospitals and orphanages. Since that's not possible,
Hi, Ava. Merry Christmas to you.
he's allowing kids an up-close and safe peek while he makes their toys.
This is actually going to be for you. I miss the ability to see the look in their eyes, and believe me, that brightness, that joy is just overwhelming, especially to me. In this particular case, we're trying to just keep hope alive. It's important that the kids know that Christmas is not canceled.
So this Christmas, whether you want
a makeup set, a Barbie dream house,
Immunization, or just for it to go away.
Santa promises nothing, not even coronavirus, will keep him from bringing Christmas to the believers. Bryn Gingras, New York.
And we have a quick programming note. Currents News will be on hiatus starting tomorrow through the new year, but we will return on Monday, January 4th at 7 p.m. And that is Currents News. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. On behalf of our directors, producers, editors, reporters, and myself, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Here's our virtual holiday card to you as we continue to pray for you and yours. Hope to see you again in 2021.